Hi friends. Happy Aloha Friday to you all. I hope you're doing well, locked down and safe, saving lives, you awesome patriots, you. Okay, so I just have a mess of 4 decks here. I've told the family, do not touch, because I'm a work in progress here. There's so much happening here that I'm really excited about. I think you'll be excited about too. That I was like, I just got to turn on the camera and start rolling. These are the things I wanted to cover. February 17th / Donald solar return. Speaker Pelosi. These two, I decided to just do the Taroscope on them from the quarter moon because the full moon is supposed to have a lot of wild stuff happening. Josh Kushner and Peter Thiel are all over the place. Like if Jared is the back channel Secretary of State, Josh is like the deputy back channel Secretary of State with Peter Thiel or Thiel. I don't know how you're supposed to say his name, but I'm going to say Thiel. I'm not Canadian. They say it a little differently. And these two yahoos are super involved with FEMA, DeVos, Prince, and KJU. Last night we found out half of the data is missing per Dr. Bree or Dr. Bricks from all the coronavirus stuff. I wonder who could be behind that. Okay. Now, I was going to turn on the camera like 20 minutes ago until I started looking at Donald's solar return, and I was looking at Speaker Pelosi's solar return, and wow. And let's have some fun before I talk about them, because late last night, getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden, I can see Speaker Pelosi in my mind's eye laughing and smiling, like super happy. I'm like, what is going on now? What it could possibly be going on right now, but just so there's another time I saw her laughing and smiling like that. She gets kind of giddy. What's going on? What's making you so happy? Okay, so this is the Hermit card, investigations. This Hermit card is turning up everywhere for everyone. And that's just going the ongoing investigations that I think things have accelerated with this whole business with La Cerveza. And it has to do with the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles have been showing up for me as stockpiles. And now I'm realizing not only is it like the national stockpile of PPE, it's also data. Stockpiles of test data going hand in hand with that. So this was the card of the reading. This one fell out. The Ace of Wands, taking action. Now, mind you, I can see her smiling, really happy again. This only happened one other time. She's interrupted me in the middle of the night, smiling and happy like this. The signifier over here, the King of Pentacles, candidate Donald. What's at the base of this? The foundation, death. Death has been showing up because of La Cerveza death. I would like to think that it's the ending and him walking away because the Eight of Cups has been showing up a lot. He is covered in the Five of Swords, the mafia, the transnational mafia. Think Lev Nass. He's been showing up. This guy who was arrested on February 17th, which is highly significant. He's the third on the Treasury's most wanted tin list of associates. His challenge, bad timing, wah wah, not so fortunate. So it all has to do with death. I think it's related to La Cerveza, which will ultimately make him, leave. What's crowning him the sun, this glorious sun again. This was showing up for the April 7th thing that I posted about a week ago. revelation, this glorious, majestic sun, things are being revealed. Because in the past, we have the Knight of Wands. Because in the past, these Knights of Wands, I will tell you who these Knights of Wands are because the quarter moon Taroscope had the Knight of Wands as one of their most important characters in the area of having to do with friendships and hopes and wishes. That would be Josh Kushner, Elaine Chao, not Betsy DeVos. That includes Ivanka, Bill Barr, Rudy Giuliani. Something in the past happened with them, leading to the end, the absolute end. Now, this World card has been showing up a lot with Mr. Parnas. Has been showing up with all these people from February 17th, especially him and him. The number 3 most wanted on this guy's list from the Treasury. Okay? So, Speaker Pelosi is smiling big about those people from something that happened in the past. How do we see Speaker Pelosi? She has the 4 of Pentacles. She's the one who's consolidating power. She's the one that has all the evidence that is just really rounding everything out for her case. The environment is a fool. Someone is indicted. Do you know how many I'll tell you all the people who came up with the Fool card at the Esper. Fauci came up with it, but I think because he is being exploited badly and he thinks a lot of things that are happening are very foolish. But we have Esper, Fauci, Netanyahu, Ivanka, Pompeo, Rudy, Julian Assange, the test data that's missing. Governor Cuomo has the Fool in shared resources, meaning he's having to deal with Don Julio. The Eastern District of Virginia has the Fool in the 8th house of shared resources. Josh Kushner, 9th house, lands far away, Putin's house. And Eric Prince also had the Fool card in his 10th house, things crowning Washington, D.C. for everyone to see. That's what this environment is about that Speaker Pelosi was so happy about. Now, this might include other fools, but these are the fools that the tarot told me were the most important this week. Speaker Pelosi's hopes. I love this. The 2 of Swords. She is making a decision, just separating people, laying down the gauntlet. I've made this decision. And what I love about this is that this was her solar return. Her first house of self and who she is, the 2 of Swords. Her most important work she will do that will set the tone for the rest of this year for her. Her fear, that 10 of Wands. Remember this card, that 10 of Wands? Those big old burdens? Don Julio? Her fear is maybe they'll get away with it. Her next steps, the 5 of Wands. For me, at this quarter moon, this 5 of Wands, this is Bill Barr. Bill behind bars. His job is the obstructor. So if her next steps is Bill Barr, get this. The tarot told me that the most important card for this quarter moon was the 3 of Pentacles. We look at the 3 of Pentacles. Speaker Pelosi is on the ascendant. She's the card of the reading. She's the one who's having these discussions, the most important thing for the tarot. Those people include Bill Barr, his 3 of Pentacles, secret discussions, talks, came in the 5th house of the sun about the president. The other person that showed up, Lev, in the area of lands far away, Putin. And then I thought it was just these 3 having a secret discussion, but then all of a sudden, missing data, the test data that was supposed to be given to the government as part of the bailout plan that Dr. Bricks reported missing yesterday. Now, that's included in this Three of Pentacles discussion that's crowning Washington, D.C., and Dr. Bricks now is in the 11th house of areas of hopes, friends, research, and science. So that is her next steps. The Five of Wands, including Bill Barr, who is the obstructor. He is my Five of Wands this week. Yeah, because he had this in the first house of self. The Five Wands also includes, now these are next steps, Assange, test data. Oh, Speaker Pelosi drew that in the 7th house of partnership. Ah, that corroborates. Pence, in the 8th house of shared resources, junior shared resources. MBS, 10th house, crowning DC with Barr. Jupiter and Pluto, this conjunction is going to be very active to get this going. Secrets, hidden enemies, Five of Wands came up for Don Holio, and for Biden, I'm not surprised. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to bring him down. Final outcome, Four of Cups. An offer has been made. Things are being considered. She's had her secret discussions. She's talked with the obstructor. The final outcome, making her so happy is this Four of Cups. And I don't think I have anything listed here for the Four of Cups because I didn't feel like looking at that card. Nope. So who knows? So this is Speaker Pelosi, very happy in the middle of the night, and I'm going to assume it's because of those things. Now, Speaker Pelosi is because of her and Donald. She put out a tweet when she was announcing the Cerveza, her select committee on that. When she announced that, the moon was at 29 degrees Cancer. It was void of course. So there's just really kind of nothing happening astro-wise with energy or momentum. Everything's just kind of flat. Everyone would be aware of it so that when the moon went direct in Leo, it would catch. And, oh my God, it's so brilliant. That would catch. And when she did that also, at the top and bottom of the chart, 21 degrees Aries, which is an exact square to all the eclipses that we've had. So it pulls all that eclipse energy back in. She's flipping genius. And then when it was announced that Donald agreed to use the Defense Production Act, he finally agreed to do this. You cannot make this stuff up. That tweet came out. The moon, when that tweet came out, not much longer after Speaker Pelosi said she's starting the select committee on the Cerveza virus, the moon was 0 degrees, 51 minutes Leo. This is a January 21st full moon eclipse, the beginning of the end eclipse, I call it, the monster eclipse, because it was the beginning of the end of his inauguration. He gave in. He caved. The moon here, 0 degrees, 52 minutes. The sun, 0 degrees, 52 minutes. And that was yesterday. Today is holy crap. And the sun was also Aries 13, which means it was in square to Saturn of that same eclipse. He totally yielded. He had to give in. And that's when he gave in. I want to talk about Speaker Pelosi's solar return. But when her sun returned to 5 degrees Aries in 24 minutes, oh my God, It had just passed Chiron, the wounded healer. She just passed that. So she essentially, her sun for the rest of this year, our wound that we need to heal is being bathed in the warmth and the light of her sun. Talk about having someone having your back. That's it in spades. And with it, she carries Lilith, that primal pain and fear and scorn that the feminine feels going through all this. She's got that all tacked down, you guys. She is a beacon for all this good. Oh my God, her moon was 18 Aries, and she was born right after new moon. Hello! I'm telling you, she has got so much power this year. But this was a thing that I was looking at. That's like, oh my God, I gotta tell them. So when her sun came back to 5 degrees Aries, 24 minutes, on the ascendant was Gemini, 11 degrees, 37 minutes. I was like, oh, Gemini 11, what's that? I'm like, so that's like around June 3rd, 4th. Well, I happened to look at the midpoint listing from Donald's solar return chart. When I look at 11 degrees Gemini, I have 11 degrees, 59 minutes. Mars conjunct Uranus. You know what Mars conjunct Uranus is? That would be explosive, explosions, revolutions. I talked at that new moon in Pisces about how Mars and Uranus were in a perfect trine. The sun and the moon were at the midpoint of it. I'm like, there's going to be explosive things happening to the president, to we the people, and it relates to money. Well, then our economy crashed. And because some of the planets were hidden in the area of secrets and the immune system, I didn't see the virus, but that's the other thing that exploded out of control. So to give you a flavor of Mars conjunct Uranus, that's what it is. And Speaker Pelosi, her ascendant this year, she's already coming off of an amazing solar return birth chart that is guiding her the whole year. Who she is, what she does, explodes on Don Julio this whole year. Okay, can I just tell you how bad things are getting for Donald right now? When his sun returned to 22 degrees Gemini, 55 minutes, on the ascendant was Aries, Aries 10, and it was in square to last summer eclipses, and plus he had some really bad things conjunct the ascendant. Let me tell you about those. Aries 10 takes us back to March 30th. Aries 10 is March 30th. I just did a huge reading on the significance of March 30th called Gather Around Ye, and I talked about the significance of Donald's phone call to Putin. What was that all about? My brain is exploding right now because I did not realize how intimately intertwined this was. For those of you who got it, because it's a very complex reading, I even had to go back and watch it a couple times to make sure I could get all my details in order. Aries 10 was March 30th, the day that he called Putin. So like the day before, he had the Arabic part of distress, very distressed. So we know a lot of this has to do with what went down on February 17th and the arrest of this guy who's going to ruin his life. This is ruining everything. Okay? Aries 10, the thing that's giving him life this year is this. You know, I've been talking about April 7th so much because at midnight, April 7th goes to 17 degrees. For Donald, that is his Arabic part of danger, death, and then there's an Arabic part for world leaders. It's called the most perilous year because it is the most perilous year in their governance, which has been related to, like, you know, dynasties falling, governments falling. I want to add a plague in there because I think there was something like that that was associated with this part. That's just their Arabic part. We start looking at his planets. Look at this. Oh my God. April 7th and then April 8th, square his Saturn and his Mars are opposite one another. Another 18 Capricorn, 18 Cancer. They're intercepted, so there's nowhere for them to go. It's going to activate that. It's going to activate his North Node. Oh my God, I don't know how he isn't out of here with this. And his Pluto, destruction. I mean, it's just so wonderfully tragic. This is going to be a pivotal coming days. April 6, 7, 8. Because it continues. It flipping continues. It doesn't end there because in April 20, when the sun is Aries 24, which is around the 15th, I think, that's the can opener eclipse trigger. I'm going to stop here. Actually, I'm not going to stop here. I thought I was done with my edits until I saw this. This came across at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. The Rudy Giuliani co-conspirator who stalked Ambassador Yovanovitch has access to 10 million masks. This looks like a mob operation connected to the rest of all of this. As Adam Classfield states, Robert Hyde, the impeachment figure facing several unrelated criminal charges, claims to have access to 10 to 20 million N95K N95 masks. He's hawked them on Twitter for 3 days. He recently posted this photo he ID'd as MyPillow's CEO. I'm telling you, it's all related. This is the transnational mafia that we're trying to take down. And this is why it takes so long and it's been so painfully frustrating, and the obstruction has been incessant, and it's why they don't care, and they have no standards and no morals, and they don't care what happens to the American people because we're standing in their way. Well, not anymore. Ooh, there's so much good on the horizon. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.